Welcome back. We're all looking for an end to winter, but Woodstock Willie says it's not likely to happen anytime soon. He was woken up just after 7 this morning, pulled from that treehouse. Poor guy not looking too happy about that either. He did see his shadow, and that predicts 6 more weeks of winter. Woodstock, of course, is where the unforgettable movie Groundhog Day was shot, and our Tim McGill spoke with the man behind the script of that film.
Here we are in Woodstock 30 years later, still talking about the Groundhog Day movie, a movie that for sure has resonated with people. There's something special about it. And I've got somebody special to tell us about it, why he thinks the movie resonates with people. This is the original writer of the story that the movie is based on, Danny Rubin. Thanks for joining us today. Sure. Appreciate it. So you came up with this story. You collaborated then with Harold Ramis, right, to make the screenplay?
I wrote the screenplay.
You wrote the screenplay, too.
And then Harold, I got Columbia to pay me so that he could make the movie.
Well, all worked out pretty well for you.
Absolutely.
Are you surprised at all about still how much people are talking about 30 years later?
A little bit surprised, and it's certainly nobody would have bet on such a thing. That's like winning the lottery or something. I mean, very, very lucky. But it also kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense too. I mean, I think the movie gave a name to something that people have been experiencing for a long time. And as that started being used and reused, it just became a very popular way of referring to things, and then that refers back to the movie.
So what do you think the theme or the message is in this movie? I told you earlier, I thought it was maybe redemption, or you have to really live each moment, like, you know, it's the old phrase, kind of cliche, live each day like it's your last. Is it any of those things?
It's all of those things, I think. Maybe the most unique thing about it is that it says that we get stuck in these repeating patterns and we feel that it's totally intractable, but by looking outside of yourself, you can come up with new solutions to help break out of your circular patterns.
So you're looking back now 30 years later. What are you most proud of? What makes you feel best about this movie and its legacy?
I just love that I'm associated with it. It's a lovely thing to have a movie that people love, and then when you see them, they're very welcoming and warm.
And ironically, it's a movie you can watch over and over and over again. It's one of those rewatchable movies. So I've got so many more questions for you, but we're out of time. But if you have questions for him, you can go to the Opera House later on this evening, or is it at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I believe?
2 o'clock in Woodstock.
In Woodstock, where they're celebrating a 30th anniversary of the Groundhog Day movie. By the way, Willie did see his shadows. Bad news, 6 more weeks of winter. I'm Tim McGill in Woodstock for Fox 32 Chicago.
Thank you, Tim.